I typed incel rage into the search bar of YouTube, and this is the first video that came up. It's called Incel Demands Sex Every Day. I don't know what I'm in for, but let's check it out.
Oh, it's a big one. Next up, a woman must be willing and ready to give me anytime I want it.
I don't know what's going on. I found a video here on Reddit, actually, and it's called My List of Requirements for Any Woman to Date Me.
I feel like this guy wouldn't really... If you're the type of guy to say that, and if you're the type of guy who's wearing, like, aviators indoors and a Demon Slayer t-shirt, and you have, like, you're clearly your mom put this stuff on the walls, you probably have never had sex. And if you were in a relationship, you probably would last like 2 seconds in bed. Like, you probably like could only go for 20 seconds. So this one isn't even that like major of a requirement for you. You're also like huge. You probably like your heart couldn't last 30 seconds. Even if your wiener could. So, it's always these guys who, like, don't have sex, who have no understanding of what it even is supposed to be, who talk the most about it. And have, like, some... Like, why do you have this, like, weird... It's not even that weird of a requirement, because of, like, a healthy relationship, you probably should be banging every day. But, like... to verbalize it, and you're not like do you think women are watching this? Women who want to date you are gonna watch this YouTube video or wherever you posted this? Like, no, and they're never. It's literally never going to happen. I don't know in what reality you think it could happen. I don't know what reality you believe that a woman is going to watch this, see you in your mom's living room in a Demon Slayer t-shirt and aviators, and going to be like, oh, I got to date this guy. And then, oh, I wonder what dating requirements he has. And this is important because these incels live several steps into non-reality. Like, they are a good ways into the abyss of just complete psychosis, to where they have no idea what they're talking about, even hypothetically, about being in a relationship, even hypothetically having sex. It's truly bizarre, and I want guys like this to understand that that's what's going on with them, and they need to be like brought back down to earth in a major way. Like, not just a little bit, a huge way. And start like thinking about, just talk to somebody who's in a relationship and start like connecting the dots and having some idea of what a relationship actually is in reality.
It's 7 months old, not too old, but it is one of the best things I've come across in a while. This video is 22 minutes long, and in the beginning he basically just talks about Christmas and sports and goes on a misogynistic rant.
Here today, I wanted to talk about dating, relationships in general, and obviously, it relates to that. I'm going to be talking about women. All right, so I made it known that I'm not in the dating scene anymore, and I have my reasons for not being in the dating scene anymore, valid reasons.
Okay, right there. Complete, utter incel. Also, this guy definitely moderates like probably 120 discords. Only thing he's missing is his fedora.
Guys like us have to live up to their standards. We have to live up to their expectations, and if we don't, well, we ain't shit. Well, quite frankly, I'm going to think the same way about you. If you're going to think that I ain't shit, well, then I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say that you ain't shit. It's as simple as that. You want respect? How about you give some respect in turn? Okay? You want people to respect, you want us guys to respect you? How about you earn some fucking respect, okay?
That is fucking cat.
I know. And the dude's so terminally online. Like, these guys who talk about men and women in such, like, vague ways. Like, it's so clear that they don't interact with basically anyone, but especially women. Because there's tons of women out there who don't give a shit about any of these, like, who basically just have no, like, prerequisites of dating at all. They just kind of go with the flow and date with, you know, who they vibe with in a moment. So it's like, dude, what are you talking about? It's always these, like, incel guys make themselves so obvious. Not just obvious that they're desperate and lonely, but that they also have no experience with women whatsoever. And that's going to turn off more women than anything else. You making an incel video like this and trying to, like, it's so weird that somebody would push out their standards for dating when, I mean, first of all, it's transparent that this guy would date anyone. He would date an 80-year-old woman. He would, like, cry tears of joy if an 80-year-old woman so much as gave him, like, a wink. He would... It's so clearly fake that you don't actually have these standards. But what you're doing in making a video where you're pushing out your standards, you're being more judgmental and having more standards than anyone, dude. Like, how do you not see that? It's this weird thing where people, they think that it's logical to say, oh, well, women have standards. They want an attractive and successful guy. Therefore, because they have standards, I can have all these standards. And, like, it's so weird. It's so incredibly bizarre. I've talked about this on this channel before, but I don't understand how these men never consider what women actually have been saying for, like, hundreds of years. And women don't really care that much about what a guy looks like. They're not even really all that physically attracted to men. And if you've ever been with women, you can kind of understand not only that that's true, but, like, why it's true. It's so... These dudes, man. These freaking incels.
The next Lotto Max...
Come on. Should I get YouTube Premium?
This cat has the zoomies going around his fucking house right now. He's like, shit, not this shit again. I gotta get the fuck out of this room. This guy just never shut the fuck up about women.
And too many women nowadays are like that because, and the reason being is because they've been spoiled.
Oh, too many women. What women? Yeah, the women that they pull on the whatever podcast? Yeah, sure. Because that's a... Like, dude, like, oh my god, it blows my mind. Just this fat turd in a freaking Demon Slayer t-shirt in his mom's living room with aviators on, indoors in a, like, not super well-lit room is gonna, like... He thinks that the women, the 20-year-olds that they pull onto these podcasts are, like, a representative of the majority of women. When in reality, no, not at all. They're not even a good representative of the majority of women in the age range of being, like, in their early 20s. Which, dude, you're like... I assume this guy is, like, late 20s to early 30s. And, dude, you're obese. Like, those women that you follow on Instagram or whatever, or you see on the whatever podcast or the Fresh and Fit podcast... They're not in your ballpark anyway. They're not in your dating pool anyway, so why would you even care what, like, random Instagram models think? Is that, like, who you're going for? You can't possibly date outside of a 22-year-old Instagram model? Like, dude, like, come down to the real world. Talk to actual women in your area. Like, you know when you see women around in restaurants, grocery stores, whatever, public events, maybe talk to some of them. You'll realize pretty quickly that they're nothing like these random bimbos that they pull onto podcasts, some clout-chasing Instagram model. You'll probably quickly realize that the majority of women aren't that at all. And that it blows my mind, man. It actually just shocks me. Because me personally, I am less attracted to like an Instagram model. Like a woman who's, you know, like it's like there's a look, right? Like you can say that strippers have a look in general, kind of tatted up. There's kind of a commonality in their look. You could say the same thing for Instagram models. It's almost an adjacent look. I find just regular women way more attractive. Like, way more attractive. I don't know. Like, obviously, like, you know, there's other variables at play, but give me, like, a random, like, just a random chick. Just normal looking. Just chill. Just a chill chick in a hoodie. That's, like, the dream, man. Like, you gotta pull your head out of your ass and realize, like, most women aren't what you're gonna see in this weird, like, incel community that you refuse to look outside of.
Oiled for so many years, and they've been basically told, and they've basically been fostered this mentality from the media today. It is, a lot of it has to do with society in general, social media in general, all this women's empowerment stuff. They basically told that they are the superior gender, and they get all the rights, they get all they're empowered and all this, and guys ain't shit. They're pretty much told this. That's why.
But at the same time, they also get told that they're inferior. Like, do you understand that? That, like, a lot of feminism actually infantilizes women. Now, I'm going to explain what that means. That means it makes women out to be children. It makes them out to be not equal to men, to be less capable, usually to do with women's inherent, in comparison, not as high level of physical capability of men. But a lot of feminism actually just makes women out to be like kind of like pathetic, like children and incapable. Therefore, they need all these societal privileges beyond what they already have. Like, let's talk about reality. Women have it way better than men in modern society. And yes, feminism wants them to have even more, and that's fundamentally ridiculous. But to act like society tells women they're just superior, a lot of that is also tells them that they're inferior, and that the rules need to apply to them differently because they're inferior, which is inherently ridiculous. I don't believe that women are inferior. I, in fact, think that everyone should be treated equally.
Why you got so many feminist movements out here, all these fem-Nazis and all this kind of shit.
Fem-Nazis, all these fem-Nazis. I can't. Women are amazing, and women are at the top in my book. I'm Ken. I'm just a Ken, and that's how I think the world should be, because I love women are great and everything.
Now you could say, that term would only apply to like hardcore feminists. Who genuinely, because there are hardcore feminists who say like, oh, we should just kill all men. We should just like do crazy, inhumane things to men. And a lot of their core ideology is centered around their hatred and desire to subjugate men. Now, yeah, but that's a small minority of them.
Everything about them, and pick me. We could always get into the whole political thing. Obviously, we know why the feminist movement exists, and we know why women are fighting back because of the patriarchy, like it still exists today. But we're not. We have to look at his list of women.
I just won't bother. I prefer to stay solo. I'm a solo. I'm a lone wolf, I guess you could say. I prefer that, like, I'm single, and I prefer to be that way. People out here can delude themselves into thinking whatever they want. Oh my god, you can't get with anyone, or whatever shit.
This guy literally never shuts up for the first 10 minutes. Anyways, if you want to watch the whole video, you can. The whole 10 minutes is just a misogynistic rant, and now we will get into his list of requirements to date him. So ladies, listen. He doesn't want guys, by the way. Ladies, listen up.
But anyway,
So this guy saying that he has chosen to be celibate, that he's not an incel because it's voluntary. I'm sorry, people, but you cannot do this. You cannot talk about being single, being better, unless you actually, like, do it the right way. Cause, dude, you're lonely. You're lonely. You're making a video ranting about women. That's your entire existence, is your inceldom, dude. You wouldn't make it your entire existence if you were really happy being single. You're not happy being single. None of you incels are. The people who say stuff, the thing is that they're just hopping onto when other people say this, and they're using it in the actual proper context, right? Like, I can say that I'm happily single, but within that being happily single, I interact with women. I spend time with women. I get certain things that I would otherwise get from a relationship through pseudo-relationships and other whatever you want to call it. And men do that, where they're single, but they got all these situationships. They got all these, talking, flirting with. They're doing all of the fun dating stuff, but they're just not committed. They're not in a committed relationship. They're having fun. That's different from you spanking the monkey in your mom's living room, dude. That's, like, wildly different. These things aren't the same. So stop using these phrases like they apply to you. They don't.
So I have created the list, and I have indeed written it down in the handy dandy notebook. Yes, the same one that I've been typing or writing other stuff in. So these are my
Oh, yes. Oh, my notebook. Oh, yeah, I write stuff in it, huh?
Requisites, if that's how you... I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. These are my requirements for dating. These are my requirements for any woman who wants to date me.
Like, we have to bully these people. That's a critical thing, is you have to bully people like this. Because what are they doing, man? Like, really look at what this guy's doing. He's in his mom's living room. He's got Nintendo Wii games in the background. I don't know when he uploaded this. I think I have that same TV. I think I bought that TV over a decade ago. I don't know when he posted this video. But that show Demon Slayer hasn't been around that long. Like, dude, get a job, get a life, get a decent TV. I mean, like, whatever, man. I mean, if you're playing Wii games, I guess you don't need, like, a powerful TV. Whatever, man. But, like, dude, you're in a Demon Slayer shirt, aviators indoors, and you're in your mom's living room ranting about women. Look at yourself. You need to bully these people to get it through their thick skulls that what they're doing is incredibly pathetic, transparently ridiculous, and they need drastic change in their lives. Now, you can disagree with me that bullying is kind of a way to accomplish that, but I just fundamentally disagree. These people need a reality check.
And yes, this is for women only. Because I'm not dead. I'm not no fruitcake. I don't swing in the other way. Okay, there's no sausage party over here, okay?
I'm no fruitcake, okay? I'm not a fucking gay guy. I'm not a fucking, just to let you know.
So get that out of your minds right now. I have to specify this because if I don't, these jerk-offs in the fucking comments and on, social media are going to say whatever, and I'm not having that. So from me, I'm telling you, this is strictly for women only to date me.
This
I was thinking the same thing. This is strictly for women who want to date me only.
is strictly for women only to date me. Nobody said anything about you being gay, my guy.
What
You
the
brought it
hell?
up yourself. It's literally in your title. My list of requirements for any woman to date me. So, God, you know what? The gay guys don't even want you. Women don't. The gay guys, not even the transgenders.
I don't have a...
Oh yeah, like I can imagine a gay dude would run away from you. The Demon Slayer shirt, and even like women, they're gonna turn and walk the other way. Gay men are gonna run when they see you, and you could look fine. You could drop some lbs. I could drop some lbs. I'm a bit chunky these days. How the holidays, I've been struggling the last couple of years. But you, dude, man, you need to upgrade. You need to glow up bad.
problem if somebody identifies as homosexual or gay if you're a man and you like another man. Or
why are you even talking about gay men? These incels, these red pillars. There is nothing they talk about more than other men. It is insane. It is insane. Do you realize that guys who actually get women never talk about this stuff? Right? They're never in normal conversation. They're never just referring to like all men and all women and all this stuff, and they're hyper focused on like gender all the time, and they're constantly concerned about other men and all this nonsense. And no, they don't have. Why would they waste their time? They wouldn't.
Or if you're a woman, you like another one. I don't have a problem with that, okay? That's your preference. That's your choice. Whatever have you. And it is a choice. It is a preference. Get the fuck out of here with this, you're born that way or they're born that way. Bullshit. Bullshit, you're born that way. So you mean to tell me that women
Oh my god. This guy is such a moron.
are born straight, or they come up straight for most of their life, and then all of a sudden they just turn gay or turn lesbian? Fuck off. Fuck off with that, oh, this is a life choice thing.
What? Is he saying it is a choice or isn't?
It's a preference.
I mean, probably.
What is the difference between a choice and a preference? What are you Is he trying to say that gay people aren't actually gay? They just... What? I'm... What are you talking about? It sounds like he's saying that it's not a choice. Dude is garbage at talking, but why would somebody choose to limit, if it wasn't genuine, their attraction towards whatever gender they're attracted to? Why would they choose that? There's no way you would go from being straight and having the dating options of, like, say, you wouldn't go from being straight and having 10 times the dating options to being gay, to choosing to be gay and limiting your dating options by a factor of 10. Having 1/10 the dating options just outright. You would never make that choice. That would be crazy. That would, like, almost guarantee you're gonna be lonely or have, like, way less dating options. That's just dumb.
Probably. Women probably come across your video and then become lesbian immediately. The straightest women in the world. They probably see this and they're like, oh, fuck, no. No, I'm actually a lesbian now.
Okay, I have no problem with gay guys. I have no problem if you identify as homosexual. I've actually come across several pretty cool homosexuals at my job. You know, when I'm on the register or when I'm helping somebody out, I've come across several, gay dudes, and they're pretty cool. They're actually some of the coolest people I've ever met. So I have no problem with that. I'll greet them the same way I'll greet anybody else. Any race, any creed, any gender, any sexuality. I treat everybody the same. All I ask is that you treat me the same way. Don't force your gayness or don't force your sexuality onto me.
Do you think that any woman who would stumble upon your video wants to hear you rant about gay people? About how you treat gay people? No woman on the planet wants to hear this, man. What are you talking about, dude? No one cares. Yeah, you're like, no one wants to hear that. What, you like bash gay people? Yeah, that would be bad. But like, you're talking about just treating everybody the same. That's what most people just baseline do. So you focusing on it actually makes it seem like that's not how you deal with things. And you're weird. You're making it seem like you care. Like somehow you're just this great person because you don't care. You're not disturbed by people being gay. When that actually is kind of makes it seem like you do care.
Me, because I ain't having it. That's just all I ask.
One of my favorite things that people say, it's like when people are like, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. I had a black friend in 5th grade. I'm not fucking racist.
But with that being said, now that I got that out of the way, let us get to the list, my list of requirements for a woman to date me. Okay, first off, very important. You must be moderately attractive. Now, what I mean by that is, I don't mean...
His points get worse as they go, so I encourage you to really, really sit here right now. Grab a bag of chips or some shit.
I don't mean you have to be fucking Tyra Banks or America's Next Top Model attractive. I don't mean you have to be a fucking perfect 10. You could be a 5 or a 4 and I would still date you, you know? It's just, all I require is that you're moderately attractive, and at the very least, you keep your appearance up. You take care of yourself at the very least. Just do basic stuff. Take care of yourself, you know, brush, shower, clean your clothes, stuff like that. You know, just all I require is you take care of yourself.
Well, you're a 2 out of 10, so you would be insanely lucky to get a 4 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. You'd be shooting outside of your zone, man.
Okay? That's
just so you know.
That's all I ask. Women do that shit anyway, so that's all I ask is that you keep up appearances. You keep up your appearance, even if I'm not around. That's just all that I ask.
So just like a normal human being, what everybody else does. I wonder what this guy thinks he is out of a 10, based off of everything. You know, looks, personality, his morals. I wonder what he rates himself.
I wonder that too, because he's like, just off pure looks, he'd probably be a 2.5 out of 10. And I'm being very generous to say he's a 2 out of 10 because his personality certainly lowers his score. It's just, it doesn't lower it enough, right? Like, if he was, in terms of looks, a 10 out of 10, then his personality would pull down his rating much further than him already being very low rated anyway. But yeah, like, the guy's an ugly person with an ugly personality. Now, granted, we don't even get to see much of his face because he's wearing aviators for some reason.
I feel like he probably rates himself like a 9.
The last thing I want is some, just woman who doesn't clean herself, doesn't bathe, hair all over the place, clothes dirty, stuff like that. I just can't get behind it, I just can't do that. Can't do it. So at the very least, clean yourself up, or keep yourself clean up, and be moderately attractive. Again, you don't have to be a freaking supermodel.
I think one of the sexiest things a woman can do is basically wear big, baggy, dirty clothes, and she hasn't showered in 2 days, and she kind of has greasy hair, and she's kind of a little bit disgusting. Is that? I think that's kind of sexy, just a little bit, because she's in like her raw element. Maybe I'm the odd one out here. I don't really give a fuck.
No, I totally agree. Like, when I think of women being very sexy, oftentimes it's in kind of that state, usually because it's after having hooked up. So it's like, there's I'm trying to avoid being graphic with what I'm saying, but like there's sex involved, which usually ends up with people being a little disheveled, a little, not super well clothed. Maybe their hair's a little messed up. Maybe they're, sweaty.
All right, so next up, I got that first one.
But this guy doesn't know that. Like, seriously, look at this guy. Now, unlike most incels, his facial hair is kind of okay. It's kind of, decently groomed. But the hair on top of his head... dude, what? You put in no effort. I assume your mom does your laundry, first of all. Because, you're in your mom's house. It's so obvious. You wouldn't decorate your place like this. You wouldn't put up these pictures. You wouldn't have, a vase with friggin' flowers, fake flowers in it. You didn't decorate this room. And certainly no, girlfriend or anything you have decorated this room. But dude, you can't even be fucked to cut your own hair or have a decent haircut going. You're wearing a Demon Slayer shirt, a Demon Slayer t-shirt, man. What? How do you perceive yourself as being this well kept?
This one out of the way. Okay, so next, you must be independent. In other words, you must have your own job and make your own money. You must have your own income, have your own source of income.
Because this guy certainly doesn't.
Because I am not taking care of you.
You're in your mom's living room. You've got a 40-inch TV. When did Demon Slayer come out? I feel like it's only really gotten big in the last few years. So, you're rocking the original Wii. I'm not trying to, throw shade, but I'm seeing what looks to be original Wii games and Xbox 360 games. And a TV that I bought, the same TV, when would that have been? 2011? And it wasn't a top end TV by any means at that point. It was the cheap mid-sized TV at Best Buy. All right, when did the Demon Slayer anime come out? It says 2019. Dude, who do you think you're fooling, man? Who would you be taking care of? Who? Who do you have the capacity to take care of financially? With your Nintendo Wii and your 40-inch TV inside of your mom's living room. Your mom probably bought literally everything. She probably bought the TV. She bought the Wii and those games. You're probably 27 still and your mommy probably buys you everything, dude. Get real. You think you expect a gold digger, this hypothetical gold digging woman who only cares about having everything paid for is going for you? My God, you are delusional.
I am not. Hold on. Sorry. So anyway, the point I was just making.
I am not. Hold on a second. That's a fair, valid point. You can want someone who's independent, who makes their own money, who doesn't have to depend on you. That's fine. That's a fine point.
Must make your own money, must have your own job, have your own income, because I'm not taking care of you. I'm not providing for you. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your...
You couldn't anyway.
I'm not no fucking sugar daddy. I'm not your fucking
You're definitely not. No one thinks that you are.
Personal bank. I'm not your fucking personal loan agent or none of that shit, okay? No freebies over here, all right? You must make your own money. You must provide for yourself. It's as simple as that. Take it or leave it, okay? None of that.
How do people post stuff like this and not realize how ridiculous they look? How pathetic they look? On what planet is this guy living?
none of this. Oh,
where women don't see straight through this. Where women are anything but incredibly repulsed by this. My goodness, dude. Like, you could be a 4 out of 10. If you changed your entire personality and got your life together and stopped being a whiny little bitch, you could make yourself into a 4 out of 10. And you could actually get women. But you refuse to. You refuse to. Oh my God, man. You pathetic freaking loser.
give me, lend me, can you spare, all that bullshit, okay?
This.
And I could buy YouTube Premium, but I can just skip ads.
Literally goes to Starbucks with you and makes you split the drinks. You can just get 2 drinks. They're $5 each, and he's like, "Oh yeah, can you Venmo me that $5, please? Because I'm not spending any of that money on you. Honestly, you can use me as a bank account. I don't give a fuck. Go for it. It's been done before. It can be done again." That was a terrible time in my life, though.
And if there comes a time where you have to borrow something, or I have to borrow something from you, you must be willing to give it to me. And I'll,
What? What? Not only do you have to pay for yourself and pay for this guy, but if he wants to borrow some of your stuff, you have to let him borrow it. And if you need to borrow anything from him, no, not available. You can't borrow his mom's whatever.
If you have
Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? This couldn't be more... I would have to put thought and effort into making a video more repulsive to women than what this guy has made. This makes you sound like the brokest, cheapest, most selfish freaking slob on the planet. Like, my God.
to borrow something for a time, I'll give you, we'll work something out. But you better be willing to pay back. And depending on what happens, I may or may not accept your payment. Accept a payment back.
What the
That's...
fuck is this guy even talking about? Like, you're talking about if you go to McDonald's and she gets a McChicken, and then you're like, you can pay me back the $2 for the McChicken? Or if she borrows your shirt, make sure that you give it back, and if you don't return it to me in a specific way, I'm just not going to take it back, because I don't fuck with that. What?
Alright, so next up, a woman must know how to cook and be willing to cook at all times. Now, this is not as big a deal as the first two.
Why are you mentioning it then? What are you talking about? At all times. Must be ready, willing, and able to cook at all times. But it's not that big of a deal as the other one.
Dude, you want a trad wife, but without, like, financially supporting her. Be willing to cook at all times, okay? That's my requirement for you. You have to serve me at all times, like it's 1950.
Now, I prefer eat-out stuff anyway. I do a lot of eat-out, take-out, fast food, stuff like that. It is what it is. That's just what I am.
We know. Again, just like almost everything you've said in this video, it goes without saying. You have a camera pointed at yourself. I'm sure you slammed 5 Baconators in the last 24 hours.
Or that's just how I am. But if it comes to a point where we have to...
To be fair, I had a Baconator last night. But only one. Only one.
Eat in or want to eat in for a change or whatever, or there's a big holiday coming up, like, for example, Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner or whatever the case may be, I expect a woman to at least know how to cook.
What fucking planet are you living on? It's so clear you've never been in a relationship. You have no idea what's even going on in society, dude. Women don't really cook anymore. It's not a priority to them. Plenty of women can cook and do cook. But this idea that you have, it's ancient. It is decades old. Of like, the woman, you expect a woman that you're dating. You're talking about like dating preferences. First of all, you'd be lucky to date somebody's grandmother. You'd lucky to be date like a huge obese like 2 out of 10 with how freaking pathetic you are. But dude, you expect the women to like cook you an entire feast for every holiday. What planet are you living on? Why don't you learn how to cook? My God, like we live in a planet where now women work, you know, not in all areas of the world, but I assume you live in the Western world. Women work, and you know what people do? If you actually interacted with people, you would know that people on holidays, if they want to cook a feast, they do it together. You unemployed, in your mom's living room dork. It's a combined effort. Like, what reality? You're like, you think you're convincing any woman. Like, women who look out for this kind of stuff when interacting with men, who are on the lookout for these red flags that you are proudly waving all over the place. You think you're putting one past them, that they're not seeing, but reading between the lines and seeing what you're actually saying here, that you're a cheap, pathetic loser, that you're going to be borrowing not only money from the woman, but stuff, that you're expecting her to cook and clean for you and be your new mommy, and you're providing nothing. You're bringing nothing to the table whatsoever. And financially, you're certainly never going to be bringing anything to the table at all. You're just you're just going to be chilling out, asking for chicken nuggies, playing your Nintendo Wii. If your mom lets you, you know, you probably got it for your birthday a decade ago. So you'll be taking that when you leave mommy's place and move to your new mommy's place. God. How do you not think that women can see through this? It's so insane, dude.
Okay.
Like, do you think you're an Academy Award winning actor? That you're like a magician? That you're Penn and Teller? You're like, I don't know. You're pulling the verbal voodoo magic. You're Dan Giesling from Big Brother. You're manipulating these women into believing this nonsense you're spewing is logical and something that they should go along with. And this isn't the worst deal for them that they've ever heard in their life.
Now, I'm not trying to be freaking, don't sit here and come, oh, you're sexist. No, it has nothing to do with that. It is just,
Like, just take a look at yourself. Please take a look at yourself. Women are repelled by you because you're a loser. You're a freaking loser. They should be repelled by you. They should avoid you at all costs. You are bringing nothing to the table.
I expect a woman to know how to cook. It's just as simple as that, you know? I like for a woman to cook for me every once in a while. It's just, it is what it is. So.
It's never happened. It's never has happened. It never will happen. You're clearly an absolute virgin who's never been in any kind of relationship. And that's why you bring nothing to the table. You are the bottom of the barrel. That's why women want nothing to do with you. And what you should be doing is not this. You shouldn't be making it so obvious that you're an absolute virgin who's probably never even kissed a woman.
So, at the very least, know what you're doing. At the very least, know your way around the kitchen. So
you could simply word this in a different way and just be like, I would prefer a partner who knows how to cook. That's what you have to say. You don't have to say, you need to be willing to cook for me at all times. That's why you're an incel. That's why people are making fun of you on Reddit and right now.
Okay.
And I'm not even upset with this guy because of the sexism, the misogyny of what he's saying. I don't even think the idea of wanting a stay-at-home wife, trad wife, is even sexist. I don't see any problem with it. It doesn't offend me. It never would. It's hilarious coming from an absolute loser. What offends me is losers like this who bring nothing to the table and think that that's okay. Think that they can blame their miserable, dateless lives on society or women. But in reality, they're doing literally nothing to contribute anything to society, to a potential relationship, and they just come up with a list of excuses and spread their hate towards other people. Like, dude, look at yourself for 2 seconds.
So next up, must be cleanly, must be tidy, and you must clean up after yourself. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. That kind of falls in line with the take.
Look at yourself, dude. Look at your damn self. My goodness. I can have that standard. And I'm not even all that clean. My standard for that isn't that high. You can see behind me my kitchen counter. Like, I'm in my dining room, and behind that is my kitchen. You can see clutter, a little bit of clutter, a little bit. Overall, my place is pretty clean. Well, I like to keep things very tidy, very clean. Like, my coffee table's in the next room. Literally nothing on it. That's how I keep it. That's how I like it. Other stuff, like nothing on things. Very organized, very clean. Now, I broke up with a woman because her coffee table constantly had tons of stuff on it. She didn't really clean up after herself, and it drove me nuts, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. But you gotta understand that I'm somebody who's been in a whole bunch of relationships, who has a ton of options. I can have that standard, and it kind of makes sense. But you cannot. You cannot, because you bring nothing to the table, dude. You have no experience dating. You don't know how to please a woman. You don't know how to even function in a relationship with a woman. You bring nothing to the table.
Taking care of yourself as well. But if you make a mess, like, you're just I don't care if it's your place, my place, our place, if we're living together, whatever our living situation is, just be tidy, clean up after yourself, stuff like that, I don't like a dirty, trashy woman. It's just how it is. And
that's a basic requirement. You don't even have to tell someone that's a requirement. That's a natural thing people should do, is clean up after themselves.
I'll do the same, and I expect if we're living together that you take care of the majority of the cleaning duties, and I'll do my share as well. I'm not.
To be fair, the video he's making is he's just listing his dating preferences. So, it's fair game what he's saying, but it annoys me that he's likely never been in a relationship. It, in fact, really annoys me because all of this is basically meaningless because of that.
I'm just gonna laze around and do nothing. So yeah. But I expect you to be tidy at the very least.
Wait, a majority of the cleaning duties. Hold on, so you can be a messy slob, but she has to clean up after you. Still trad wife thing, but she also has to work. So you both are gonna be working, but she's gonna come home and she's gonna cook and she's gonna clean and she's gonna do everything while she has a job. So basically, she has no life. At the end of the day, she's still serving you.
A woman must be courteous. It must be friendly at all times, okay? I don't want a woman with no fucking attitude. I don't like women who are just bitchy for the sake of being bitchy. I don't care if, it's that time of the month. I don't care if, that's just how you are. I don't
care if you have period and your hormones are going crazy and you can't help it. You still need to behave, even though...
Yeah, he doesn't understand that it's literally hormones changing in a woman, and it's a major inconvenience. They have cramps and stuff. It's not just a little blood spills out of their cooch and they're just whining about it. No, it's more than that. It's you can deal with a woman being a little moody, especially you, this obese, dateless virgin.
Biologically, that shit is bothering the absolute shit out of you, because I don't understand how period work, because I don't care to get to know.
Want to play League better?
He's never interacted with a woman. He has no clue. He's
mentally unstable.
He's never gone on a date. He would be lucky if he ever does, even one time in his life. That's what we're dealing with here. So, yeah.
Bitchy women. It's just, mentally unstable women. It's just not really my cup of tea. It's just not really my thing. So
that is literally the best type of woman. Everything is the opposite of this guy. That is the best type of woman you could have.
Well, like in the bedroom, yes.
Are you serious? Come on.
So I expect you to be kind-hearted, to be courteous, to be friendly, so towards me or anybody, unless somebody gives you a hard time. If somebody else is being, like say for example, we're out in public and somebody is just being a piece of shit or whatever, then I give you full reign to go off on that person, but just don't bring it my way. Okay, I didn't do anything to you, so just as to
I won't get involved. If someone's being really bad, you can give them grief, but I won't get involved. Oh, yeah. Like, my goodness, guy. Could you be more pathetic? Could you... Wow. Is this guy trolling? Is this a troll video this guy's made? What the hell? This is one of the lamest things I've ever heard a man say. Ever.
Because you represent yourself and you represent me in a relationship. So I expect you to be kind-hearted and courteous and friendly at all times. So I don't want none of that bit, just being a bitch for the sake of being a bitch. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't do it to other people, so I expect you to not do it to me. So
being a bitch is kind of sexy, though. Having an attitude is kind of sexy to a limit. You want her to be friendly and happy all the time to everybody. I just feel like that type of person just doesn't exist. Some people have bad days. This guy's an idiot. Like, does this guy think that people just go up to a hostess and be like, "Give me a fucking table right now, you bitch"? Is that... No, who does that? No, well, maybe like 70-year-old man.
When I say be independent, make your own money, have your own income, no gold diggers, okay? No gold diggers, no two-timers, no none of that shit.
Again, as we look upon your mother's living room, what gold is there to dig?
Okay, like I said, I'm not your sugar daddy or none of that shit. You make your own fucking money, okay? You provide for yourself. And I'll do the same, and maybe you provide for me a little bit, because that'll be great. But
brother, nobody's gonna gold dig for you. I get a vibe here that nobody could even gold dig from you. So,
all right. So next up, it's a big one. Next up, a woman must be willing and ready to give me sex anytime I want it. That's right, anytime, any time of the day.
Ugh. Okay. Wow.
Again, I think he probably would be like a 20-second with at least a half a day recharge time. He probably beats his meat like pretty ferociously. Like these guys who get into their like late 20s and beyond who have never been with a woman. I don't really know how much they're beating it, but I've known I've heard some stories that they can really do some damage. Like they get into it to too much of a level, and there are some consequences. And I've never gone into like a detailed conversation with anybody who's experienced that, so I don't fully know, but I would think that this guy would be, although his appetite for food is unquenchable, his appetite for sex would be very quickly satisfied, so it wouldn't even actually be a big deal. He's probably like, I assume that he has a strand of some woman's hair that he has probably held against his face and choked the chicken to multiple times. So, yeah.
Wow, dude, that is fucking, oh my god. That's not surprising, though. I don't know why I'm pretending to be shocked. Fucking Jesus Christ, guy.
Obviously not in public. Well, hell, if we're in a situation,
you would do anything. You would bang a woman in front of your own mother because you would bang a woman and spend 50 years in prison. You've never touched a woman. You would happily do anything with any woman at any time. You'd be over the moon, dude. That's how desperate you are. So, of course you'd hook up with a woman in public. I mean, come on. Most of us would.
Maybe in public, but if you want to do some kinky shit, but...
You want to do some kinky shit in the Burger King bathroom. Let's fucking get it on. This guy does not understand the basics of a relationship. He will never have a stable relationship if this is how he thinks one should go.
But no, man, a woman must be willing to give it to me at any time, at any point during the day, particularly when we're by ourselves. I don't want to hear, I don't want you to give me no attitude or none of that shit, or, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You must be willing to give it up to me at any point of the day.
The problem is that this guy imagines that a woman, this trad wife, this hot trad wife that he's going to somehow acquire, is going to go to work, come home, and just cook him food, hand deliver him food while he's playing video games on the couch all day, and just provide sex for him. And that's it. He doesn't understand at all that in relationships, that couples, they do stuff together. They get to spend time with each other's friends, with each other's families. They go out. And they go out to places that aren't just, McDonald's and Arby's. They, go on road trips. They go places and they do things. Women typically like to do couple activities. And often those activities take up a decent chunk of the day. So you're going to be too busy to be you can't exist in a relationship unless you literally purchase some kind of sex slave, which I don't think you can. I know that slavery exists in China, India, some countries of the world have slavery to some extent. But outside of that, I don't think you're going to find this slave that you're looking for who's going to be okay with doing nothing but sitting around and cooking you food and watching you play video games and giving you blowies, dude. Bring it down to reality a little bit here. You're going to, if you ever are in a relationship, which you likely won't be, you're going to be doing all kinds of stuff with this woman. And just by doing that stuff, you're not going to have the opportunity to be banging several times a day. You just aren't. You won't. There's not enough time in the day. And you yourself are going to be tired sometimes. You're going to be not in the mood sometimes. Good God, dude. It's these losers who just have never touched a woman, who are touching themselves 3-4 times a day, just living in this total fantasy world that doesn't exist, who would even suggest such a ridiculous thing. And again, I've dated women who are pretty frisky, where we're actually banging several times a day. But it's not every day. It's not just and it's definitely not a thing where it's just I just ring a bell and it's not 100% up to me. That's not how it works. And there's levels of being too busy and having to work around what's going on. And also, usually in relationships, you aren't seeing each other every day. And me being somebody who works 12-hour shifts, yeah, there's going to be times, especially if, say I'm working 12-hour shifts, and between those shifts, I have, a family birthday party or something that I need to go to. Or say my coworkers want to go out and after work and have some drinks or whatever. There's going to be times where there is just not enough time in the day where it's like, you know what? Go do your thing. We won't even see each other today. Or even if you live together, where it's like, all right, well, you know, I'm exhausted from work. I just worked like 13 hours straight. I'm coming home. I'm eating. I'm going right to sleep. That's it. Well, you know, like shower and stuff. Go right to sleep. That's it. That's all I got time to do. I'm exhausted. That's it. This guy living in his mom's house doesn't really get it. Never will. Doesn't interact with people. Doesn't know anything about anything.
I just feel like no woman is ever going to be interested in you anyways. And if you expect a woman to give it up to you at any time of the day, and any time, or anyone in general, you are disgusting and weird.
Alright, let's go back. So this guy, Sam, I like this guy. Never seen his videos before, but I like him. This guy is reacting. This guy, he seems like he's in an apartment. I get the vibe that he's like in college or something and he's got roommates. So like there's somebody else living here. But this area is like his room or like a sort of living room area. But like the stuff that's on the walls, there's like, I don't know if this is a calendar, but like this is kind of how a guy decorates his space. Usually there's a lot of bare wall, and it's very poorly decorated. But this other guy, it's like...
Anyways. And if you expect a woman to give it up to you at any time of the day, and any time, or anyone in general, you are disgusting and weird.
Because I've actually...
If you're going to make a video ranting to women about dating, or basically anything, don't do it in a room that your mom decorated. That's all I'm saying. It's not a good look. It's certainly not a good look.
Actually had relationships where I've had females tell me that they would give me sex anytime I wanted it. You don't believe me? I got the fucking messages, so...
I've got the Xbox Live messages. I've got the messages to prove it. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I'm like your WoW girlfriend who might be a guy who you never met. That doesn't count. You say these women have offered it online. I've got the DMs. Okay, dude. Okay, come on. Be real.
Oh, fuck. I've had females who did that. If you don't believe me, I'll bring up the texts. Like, I'm not fucking lying. And again, as I always say, if you refer to women and girls as females, go to hell. Just go straight to hell. I hate you. Women are more than...
I've been in so many relationships. Yes, I have. All of them on Discord. And some of them have even offered to be my sex slave.
Females. I'm sorry, I just came back from the Barbie movie as well. So my feminism is going through the roof right now.
So yeah, so that's something that I expect. I fully expect you to be ready to give it up at any time. We're in a relationship, so yeah. If we're in a relationship and it's romantic, consensual, I expect you to be ready to give it to me at any time.
If we're in a relationship and it's consensual. If we're in a relationship and it's consensual. If. What the fuck? What is wrong with people? Yikes. Oh my god, if I had a son and he was anything like this, I would be like, alright. I'd be sitting... I'd have so many talks with him, man. Like, he would be changed. He would be... I would... My God. Would I never have a kid who's like this guy? Never. My goodness.
And finally, and this one isn't as serious. This is kind of one I just threw in there. Finally, whenever we're by ourselves, wherever we're alone, at home, or in private, you must call me master at all times.
Dude. This is why he's a Discord mod. You must call me master, and I will call you kitten. I will call you kitten, and you call me master.
Like when you come in the door, like say for example, if you're coming in from the store or coming in from work and you see me and I'm doing whatever, you greet me. When you greet me, I expect you to say, "Hello, master," or something like that.
No, he's smirking. I don't know if he's just trolling with this part. Especially the fact that he wrote it down. He could be just trolling with this master part. Clearly it's stupid. But, like, I genuinely don't know if the entire video is a troll. Like, it could be a troll. Where he's like, I'll go to my mom's or potentially grandmother's living room to film this. I'll put on my Demon Slayer shirt. I'll wear sunglasses indoors for no reason. And just be a total douchebag. Just a total moron. Like, I'll make myself as unappealing to women as humanly possible. This could all be a troll job. I don't know.
Up in the morning, when you wake me up or whatever have you, or I wake you up or whatever, I expect you to greet me by saying, "Good morning, master," or "Good evening, master," or, you know, any kind of stuff like that. Because that would be fucking amazing. That would be so great.
That would be so great. Make me hard as fuck. So please just call me master, please. So,
just a little kink that I have, little kind of fantasy that I have somewhat. But that one's not as big a deal. But the other ones on the list, prior the ones that I just listed off, are definitely big deals, and I expect any woman that I'm dating to live up to those requirements, to those prerequisites, before I even consider dating you. So that's just it, man. Those are my standards.
Now that statement is so stupid that I kind of am thinking maybe the entire video is a troll. Because to say that's my expectations and I won't even consider dating you if you don't meet those expectations is so stupid that it's like almost impossible that anyone actually think that. You think that before even going on a date with a woman, that she is ever going to agree to cook you a big feast for every holiday and be your sex slave and call you like, no, like, you can't. This guy's a troll. This isn't real. It can't be. No one's that dumb. Like, even a guy who's a virgin, never touched a woman, never dated, wouldn't be that dumb.
Those are my requirements.
man, I know these women on YouTube are definitely looking up who to date on YouTube and how to date them, and I'm sure they appreciate your list of requirements, and they probably looked at this and they're like, all right, I can do it. I'm gonna message this guy and we're gonna hit it off. I think it's a good idea that you have posted this on YouTube for everybody to see.
So
let's pretend like this is real. It might be. Because, like, these incels, they pretty much believe this stuff. Like, this person could be real, as insane as that sounds. But let's pretend that it is. That's a good point that Sam made there. Women, who they date, is probably from the pool of a ton of guys who ask them out, either through asking them out in person, face to face, because they know them in their real life. That's probably like the main pool that they're going to pull from. Or it's going to be somebody who they've been talking to for years online or through text message. Somebody who they've built that sort of rapport. Somebody who they know digitally. Not a digital stranger, because that's what you are. Right? Just like I made a video about this stalker guy, this Damien guy. And what he completely failed to understand is that to the woman on YouTube that he was stalking, that to her, he is nothing. Right? To any of us digitally, we don't know each other. We're nothing to each other, right? Like, I react to Courtney Ryan videos. She doesn't know who the hell I am. I am nothing to her. I don't even know if she's seen one of my videos. Right? I have no clue. So you got to understand that women aren't looking for random boyfriends on YouTube or through these digital means. Not really. Like, even on like dating apps, you can get dates and stuff, but ultimately you got to understand that women are going to have these pools of they're being asked out on a regular basis. So if you're not asking women out, you're probably not getting any dates.
Any woman looking to date me, or whatever the case may be, or take me out, or whatever, those are my standards. Those are my requirements, and you got to live up to them, all of them. Now, maybe some of them might be negotiable, but I fully expect you to meet at least a good half of them.
This guy jerks off to Andrew Tate videos on like Fresh and Fit podcast or some shit like that.
Yes, for sure. What he means by that is, say, instead of you agreeing to have sex with him several times a day, whenever he wants, at the drop of a dime, if instead of that you cut it down to once a day, that's okay, but that's only if you cook him a Thanksgiving feast every day, right? So it's like negotiable. You can lower one stack, but you have to raise another to make up for it, right?
He has watched way too much of that shit.
You can't have it any way you want, okay? This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way, all right? So that's just where I am. That's where.
Brother, I would love you to go on Tinder right now and just see how many matches you could get. I would love to see. I would absolutely love to see. But download them all. Bumble, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. I don't remember the other ones.
But anyway, so that's pretty much all I gotta say for now. So thank you for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support I can get. I'll be sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of all my future uploads. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out on some good content, man. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say for this. So once again...
Anyways, guys, that is me, Wrestling Otaku. So those are my requirements to date me. We're going to read a couple of comments here. Came here from Reddit. Just wanted to let you know that this video has spread to all corners of the internet. Millions of people are currently tearing you apart. Get some self-respect, man. Otaku replied with millions of people. Pretty sure that's heavy exaggeration. More like a couple hundred virgins on Reddit obsessing over another man. Laugh my ass off. Keep them coming, though. I appreciate the extra views and the soon-to-be AdSense funds I'm going to get from this... A video...
Like, you're the virgin who's talking about other men, dude. Like, Otaku, you've never been with a woman. And you're the one who's looking at everyone as, like, men and women and this group and that group. Like, it's you. It's you who's talking about other men. Like, you can tell by the way that he talks about women as a collective that he also sees men as a collective. Because he uses that as an excuse for his own pathetic behavior and his own pathetic life. He thinks it's somehow elevated by what other men are doing. What better men are doing. It's so insane. Like, his expectations of a trad wife are probably reasonable. Now, in modern society where we have this insane inflation and housing crisis, that is very difficult. Like, it's almost unreasonable unless you make like $30,000 a year and above to actually just have like a stay-at-home wife. That's the world we live in. At least here in Canada, that is the world. So, but like a guy who's seemingly like a wrestling otaku in his mom's living room, you ain't that, bro. And you think you can have these expectations of women as if you were that. Talking about gold diggers. You're not that, man. You're not that at all. You're actually, like, the furthest thing from that. And the reason I talk about like bullying is, I'll get to it once we get back to Wrestling Otaku while being on screen.
With like 20,000 likes does not get much AdSense revenue, by the way. You convinced me that homosexuality is a choice because this video turned me into a lesbian. 419 likes. Yeah, because I really care about the sexuality of a wannabe e-girl. Sure thing, miss. I'm jealous people see sunlight. Laugh my ass off. What kind of comeback is that? What does that even mean? I told you this video is going to turn people lesbian. You guys lesbian yet? Dude, seek help. Dude, seek a better name.
Wrestling Otaku.
Oh my god, this guy got wrecked.
Wrestling Otaku with AEW profile picture.
Anyways, I'm so happy I found this gem of a video. Thank you to Reddit. Reddit is one of my favorite places ever to be because they have the best stuff. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And, yeah, make sure you're living up to those expectations, though.
I liked this video. Sam Collins was the channel. But let's get this guy back on screen here. It's a Wrestling Otaku. Dude. So, what I've gathered by your mom's living room, your Demon Slayer shirt, and your sunglasses, and your complete lack of a haircut. Dude. You are bringing nothing to the table. You are the bottom of the barrel of men, because not only are you broke and have zero experience with women, you have no experience with sex, you bring nothing to the table. You couldn't satisfy a woman, either sexually or in a relationship, just being a fun person to spend time with. No, you couldn't even do that. You'd be a nightmare. You have no personality, no intelligence, no social ability, you got nothing. You've got absolutely nothing. On top of that, you're obese. That's something you could change. That's something you could change in like a month, dude. You can't, like, not only is there no gold to dig from you, and do you have no experience, no ability to satisfy a woman, but you don't even overcome those shortcomings by at least being an average-sized human being. Crazy. You are absolutely out of your mind, Wrestling Otaku, and you need to get a life. Please. Or you will certainly never get a woman.